In today's Health Watch, it turns out obesity is posing more of a risk to children than adults. Dr. Kevin Dahlman of Aurora Health Care is here to talk about prevention. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Michelle.
I'm always a little sketchy to broach this topic because I don't want to shame kids for baby fat.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up, Michelle, because we do want to make sure to create that healthy self-image and self-respect for these kids that are so vulnerable at this age. So we want to make sure that we're talking about healthy lifestyle choices, making sure that you get out to exercise every day, you spend adequate time playing outside, and that you're eating healthy portion size and healthy foods.
Well, how do you know if your child is obese?
Well, so number one, it would be helpful to have a doctor weigh in because, of course, we're looking at many factors. I'm looking at family history and, what the child is projected to be. So if you're at the top of the height curve, I'd expect your weight to be there too. So it's all those factors that we take into play. You can't simply look at someone and conclude that they're overweight necessarily.
All right, so let's talk about the main challenge at hand, and that's getting kids to drink more water.
Right.
Trying to get adults to drink more water is hard enough.
Precisely. Of course, our bodies need a lot of water. In fact, usually for adult-sized people, I'm regularly recommending 45, 50, or 60 ounces a day. And it's so important for so many things. Not only does it help us stay healthy, but it cuts down on headaches and muscle cramps for the sports players and many other things.
Now, we're not talking about putting kids on a diet, though.
Correct. So I don't want the kids to be focused on the numbers or to take any of those fad diets. That is not healthy for children or adolescents. Instead, what we're talking about is simply ingraining those healthy lifestyle choices. Because if you can do this in your teens, it's much more likely to carry over to your adulthood. But boy, when you try to do this in your 40s, Michelle, at least personally for me, it's tough.
Yeah, portion control.
Right. So this is the other area that I think us as Americans and our American culture really struggle with. So when we're out at restaurants or even eating at home, we tend to overserve ourselves or get more food than needed. And then, of course, we end up seeing that food in front of us and we feel still hungry. We tend to overeat. So I've had a couple college students recently get back from Europe, and they've told me, wow, those portion size in Europe are so much smaller. It just is a reminder to us that we eat a lot of food in America and we need to watch the portion sizes.
How can you encourage kids to get outside more, though, when there's so much that they're interested inside? Video games, their iPads, the television.
Right, exactly. So we live in a society where we're constantly glued to the screen, whether it's the computer or the iPad or the iPhone. Really important for us to stay active. We sit around all day, and then of course when we get home we're tired. We may opt to sit on the couch and look at those electronic devices. Instead, what we need to do is set an example for our kids, Michelle. We need to get outside, take a walk down the block as a family, or get outside, ride your bike. We really encourage up to 2 hours of physical activity a day for our kids.
All right, to a parent who maybe is at wit's end and it's now become a volatile relationship over weight, what's the advice?
I think the best thing to do there is step back and let the child make these choices. You know, really with any kind of argument between child and adult, it's so hard if there's that little element of, well, I'm going to prove you wrong, Mom or Dad. It's really important to simply set an example and then have those really non-confrontational conversations about weight.
I'm feeling hopeful. Dr.
Thanks,
Kevin
Michelle.
Dahlman of Aurora Health Care, and I'll be putting more information on our website at cbs58.com.